when they control everything, the end result is going to be fascism. We are not sliding into socialism. Stop thinking that. The difference is that we are sliding into fascism. And if you don't know what what the definition is between the two, I don't have time for that this morning, but I want you to go out and educate yourself, because we are sliding into a military fascist dictatorship.
Well, and that's a huge issue. A couple of years ago, they put these cameras up on the highways, and north of West Plains, we've got cameras up on Highway 60 there. And I called MoDOT when they put those cameras up, and I asked them, "What you got cameras up on the highways now for?" There was one in Kabul, and they said, "Well, we need to monitor traffic out there on Highway 60." And we're the ones up there at Willow Springs. I said, "You can look out your window and monitor traffic. Of course, now they're shut down. They shut down their big new offices they spent millions of dollars on, and left the area, but." They're monitoring everything. Now we've got, 30,000 drones are going to be flying around, looking in your backyard, looking in your windows. There's just no limit on what these people are doing. And where do they get all this money? I mean, we're just spending money. It's just insane. I think we've got to get people that understand how our Constitution's supposed to work, understand how to run a business, and shove this government back inside the Constitution. And that's what I want to do when I get to Washington, D.C., and I will be a strong advocate for that. Believe me.
Folks, it's hard to get the genie back in the bottle. But, guys like Bob are out there driving for this every single day. And if we do not do this, look, the United States federal government, through the Air Force, released a memo stating that they're going to use these drones to monitor, or not monitor, they call it surveil. And however, if the military personnel, this is their statement, sees something of interest from a drone, they can apply to a military judge or a military commander for permission to conduct a physical search of the private property that they are intrigued by. And any incidental acquired information can be retained and turned over to local law enforcement. That is fascism.
It's out of control. It's out of control.
Okay, caller, come on the show.
I totally agree with you. And I'll tell you, as an American citizen, I'm awful worried, and I'm starting to get scared because I'm disabled now, and I'm not able to hardly defend myself, let alone my family. And the United States needs to wake up to what is going on. And a lot of people look at me like I'm crazy when I say this, but I think there's going to come a day before very long that you're going to see UN troops marching down our streets. And anybody that says anything out of line toward the government will they may not be shot on sight, but they're going to be taken in, and they're going to be scared to death to where they'll never say another word. And
right.
I think that's where we're headed.
I think they're already doing that. They're already silencing us with fear. The fact is that people say to me all the time, you better be careful what you're saying there. You're going to get picked off by the NDAA. You know what? That mentality is what makes America collapse, folks, because you're scared to death. And the truth of the matter is, when you fear your federal government, you have a problem.
Exactly.
I've heard people say, well, if they come after my guns, I'm going to bury them. They're never going to find them. Well, that's exactly what they want you to do, is run and hide your guns. I hope there's going to be a lot of people that won't run and hide their guns, that'll stand up and say, no, you're not taking our guns.
Right.
Exactly. Well, I've done and told everybody around me the day they come for that's the day I go down fighting, because I'm going to fight with every ounce of my being left. But that guy that's up there right now in the White House is for himself and his people. And he's giving away money that we don't have to give away. He's starting up new programs that we don't have to pay for.
Yeah, but the guy's a figurehead. That's the problem. He's a figurehead. Everybody thinks if we just get rid of Obama, we're going to get rid of the problem. Let me tell you something, folks. This problem is a cancer that has metastasized into our entire federal government. The way to get rid of the problem is not to get rid of Obama. The way to get rid of the problem is to take our government and force it to be microscopic in size again. Because now you can't watch 25,000 people, all of them ideologues with their own agendas. You can watch 5,000 though.
Are you still there?
Yeah, you're still on.
And I'll tell you what I think too. I think the government has got pretty well a firm grip on our news media, because it's so biased. I mean, it's so evident when I'm scanning through my channels, it's just so evident. Everything's anybody that stands up like you are or I am, we're a radical, we're a racist, we're a monster or whatever, you know. And like you say, I have people tell me you better watch what you're saying. They can hear what you're saying on your cell phone if they want to. Well,
and they can.
Heck yeah, they can do whatever they want, and they're getting away with it. And, you know, I just don't know. I guess when the troops start marching down the streets and start taking everybody away, then it's going to be too late unless a bunch of cowards wake up and start fighting.
Well, you will have a choice on August 7th here in the 8th District, all across southern Missouri. You'll have a choice between Jo Ann Emerson, who continues to fund and vote for all this unconstitutional big government stuff that's happening, or you can vote for me in the August 7th primary, the Republican primary. You got to pull that Republican ballot and vote for me, who wants to uphold the Constitution, who's been a long-time fighter for property rights and upholding our rights, and that'll be your choice here in the 8th District.
Well, I'll be voting Republican because when I was young and naive, I used to vote Democrat and thinking, well, you know, the Democrats are for the working man and all this and that. But the Democrats are for themselves and staying in D.C. and padding their pockets and then getting out of office.
I'll say this. I'm a Tea Party guy. I think, you know, I'm running in the Republican Party, but both parties are doing, you know, horrible damage to our freedom.
Things to us.
Both parties are doing that.
And I'll tell you something. Be careful when you say I'm going to vote Republican, because Jo Ann Emerson is a Republican too.
Exactly. You know, we have lots of Republicans destroying our Constitution, voting for big government, destroying our freedoms, and we need to rout them out of both party
lines. You can't just vote along party lines. I think what we got to go because it's a break. But what I would do is I would make sure, if I were you, that I'm making sure that not only am I voting for, I'm voting for the person. I don't give a darn about parties, folks. You've heard me say it before. Both parties are traitors to us as individuals and as American citizens. Both the listen, the NDAA, folks, was written by Republicans. It was sponsored by Republicans, and the new NDAA that's going to allow them to use propaganda against you so that when, according to this caller, the guys are marching down the street, they're going to tell you it's for your own good. That is sponsored by Republicans.
If you want somebody that'll fight this in both parties, and I'm not afraid to speak out. You know, I'm on radio. They're recording this. The Republican Party, we need to take back the Republican Party, and the Democrats certainly need to take back their party and get it back to following the Constitution, if that's even possible with the leadership that they have in that party. But, you know, the Republican Party's out of control. We've got to take it back, and I will not sit back and try to work with these Republicans that are traitors to our Constitution and our freedoms. I want to go fight for you. That's what it's all about.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we need more fighters. We need more citizen legislators, folks. And I believe Parker is going to be one of them. So we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Oh, yeah. Get jiggy with it. Oh, yeah. All right, we're back. We have a caller on hold, and I don't want to keep him on hold or her on hold any longer. So you're on with Bob Parker. Please enter the room.
Yes, I got just a quick question and comment.
Sure, and thank you for holding, by the way.
You bet. And I'll hang up and just listen to your response.
All right, great.
My question is this, sir. Either one of you old enough to remember Barry Goldwater, and about 80% of what I've been hearing you warn about for the last few weeks. Back in the 60s, Barry Goldwater's warned this country about. Now, I'll leave it with you.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
I think I was 7 years old when Barry ran. And that was the first presidential election I got involved with. And we lived next door to some folks that were big Goldwater supporters, and they said, vote for Goldwater. But I was only 7, so.